League action this afternoon. The Saints have been led out by matchday mascot Jessica Fryer, 5 years of age. She attends Nook Grove Methodist Primary School. Her hobbies are swimming, looking after her pets, riding a bike and watching the Saints. There's Jessica there, centre field, with Bobby Golding just shaking hands now, and a lady mascot for Warrington with Captain Paul Cullen. And Warrington will be looking for better fortunes than they had on Thursday evening when they was completely outclassed here at Nosey Road in the semi-final of the Regal Trophy. 80 points to 0 the final score. The Warrington side for this afternoon: Lee Penny at full-back, Mark Forster, Salesi Faino, Andy Courier and Matiki Maffey, the three-quarters, Yestin Harris and Mike Ford, the half-back pairing, Mark Jones, John Huff and Mark Hilton, the front three, Paul Cullen, Ian Knott and Kelly Shelford, the back three, and they have Gary Chambers, Paul Barrow, Andy Bennett and John Thursfield on the bench. The Saints side, a couple of changes due to injury. Danny Arnold at full-back, Joey Hayes, Andy Northey, Scott Gibbs and Andy Haig at the three-quarters, Carl Hammond and Bobby Gold in the half-back pairing, Apollo Perolini, Kieran Cunningham and Ian Pickervance the front three, with Simon Bood, Via Matautia, Phil Vevers the back three, and there's your matchday mascot there, Jessica Fryer, just making her way down to the tunnel end with Andy Foreman meets her and takes her to her parents. That's great day for this young lady, Jessica Fryer, 5 years of age. The Saints subs are Phil Waring at 14, Kevin O'Loughlin at 15, Ryan Catewell 16 and Paul Matheson 17. Saints have kicked off, Warrington in possession with Paul Cullen.
Thanks very much, Ron. As you just said, Warrington went down 80 points to 0 just 4 days ago here at Nosey Road. I was a little bit diffident about coming to commentary today, but I honestly don't think Warrington can play as badly again, or St Helens play as brilliant as they did. But Warrington in possession, that's Mark Jones, who actually started the game last Thursday night. That was a forward pass, I think, and the referee right on the spot, and we were in fact right in line with that, and that was a pass in fact to Kelly Shelford, who's been out with injury for some 5 or 6 weeks. He makes a welcome return to the wire ranks today at number 13. And Bobby Golding had such a marvellous game on Thursday night to really showed his class. He's a real excellent international player. His Bobby Golding played exceptionally well. But I don't think any of the Saints supporters would have thought before the game started that Saints would have scored 40, never mind 80.
No, you couldn't have imagined it, could you, Jim? But it happened, and we was there. I know, same as you say yourself, you don't know what to do in those situations, but just a great performance by the Saints. They've got to try and keep it up. Warrington playing for pride. Not a different side. Warrington only Shelford in and Thompson out, but more or less the same side. Saints with a couple of injuries. Obviously Fogarty limped off, and Steve Prescott, a recurrence of an injury. But Saints have got to build up now before we play the old pie eaters on Saturday in the Regal Trophy final at McAlpine Stadium at Huddersfield. Last tackle of the sequence. Matautia was driving through there. It comes to Bobby Golding. He puts it high in the air. A tester for Lee Penny. Penny's in there. Maffey's in. Is it there that he's got it? Took it safely and he's streaking away, Jim.
That was a tremendous taking pat from Maffey. It looked to me as if he may well have been impeded by Lee Penny there, but I had a feeling that ball would go to ground, but it didn't. That's Lee Penny again. Lovely break from him. And he was one of the few players, I think, who played on Thursday night who had a good game. Yestin Harris probably being another one. That's Warrington there now, midway between the 20 and the halfway line. And they've certainly started off better than they did on Thursday, when they were, I think it was 18 points down after about 11 minutes. There's about 3 minutes gone here. There's Yestin Harris on his own. Still going forward. Are Warrington going to score first? And they are. So we could say there, and after 83 minutes of rugby, the score is now Saints 80 points, Warrington 4. But that's the opening try for Yestin Harris. And one or two pundits, of course, have picked Warrington to win today because they can't believe that the Wire side would play as woefully and as badly as they did on Thursday. But that was a lovely try there from Yestin Harris.
Obviously great for Warrington to get on the board. Early days yet, anything can happen, but Saints just holding back off Harris. We know he's a class act, there's no danger about that. As you said, Jim, he was probably one that tried to inject a bit of pace and class into the Warrington side that was completely outclassed, but it was just a one-off performance. The Saints were brilliant, everything just went right for them. The defence was superb, but obviously Saints have let a try in, and that's what the coaches don't like. They don't like conceding points. But Warrington first on the board, and it's 4-0. Saints have possession. Kieran Cunningham flicks it out. Pickervance coming through. Taken down by Courier. Mark Jones there as well, and Pickavant's hurt. Pickavant's on his back. It didn't look a lot in the tackle, Jim, as he came through, but it must have been a big hit by Mark Jones. Courier coming in as the second man, and from our angle it didn't look a lot in it, but Pickavant's taken a knock, and he's certainly a player that Saints need. He gets up gingerly. Vivas takes the ball over to one side. He will restart the play as Pickavant receives treatment. The referee is allowed play to go on now. Saints move it centre field. Perolini, who played out of his skin the other night, he steams forward. Warrington urge to get back on side. They're moving up exceptionally quickly as Matautia drives through. Well, a little bit of action there on the far side. Salisi Fee now going in enthusiastically as Cunningham. Oh, just as his ankle's tapped, he goes up the wing, and it's Ian Knott that brings him to ground. Joey Hayes at dummy half. Saints move it crossfield. They're moving left. Hammond, short ball to Vivas. Vivas out to Simon Booth. Booth again gets the pass away. Arnold, can Arnold squeeze in? Oh, Cullen's back there, along with the substitute already on for Warrington. Gary Chambers is on. He's got 14 on his back there, Jim. So I don't know who's come off just early. We just didn't see that. But an early substitution for Warrington. Referee Campbell speaking to Lee Penny and Simon Booth. Obviously a little bit of hanky-panky gone on. But Warrington have possession. It must have been the turnover, Jim.
Yeah, I think that was 6 to 1, a half a dozen of the other. I can't see Mark Hilton on the field at the moment. That certainly was Mark Jones as first man in, so it may well be that Mark Hilton's come off. In the blood bin, that was right, as John just informs us there. I can remember the referee holding up the green card with the white cross on it. So that's Gary Chambers on immediately. He obviously came on in the second half on Thursday. It was a long pass, but has that ball gone loose? No, it's not. Yestin Harris does very well indeed, and Johnny Holt backs him up. And that again's on to Finau, another strong running Fijian player. And it's Maffey for his second touch of the ball. On again to Yestin Harris. Yestin Harris into, I think that's Not pushed off the ball there. That's the last tackle. And certainly Not was being backed up there by Mick Ford on his right, but he didn't see him. Ford again. Yestin Harris surely will kick. And that's a tester there as Mark Foster goes towards the line. And that was a good kick, and it was a very good chase indeed.
Yes, it was a good chase, and on the last tackle there, Golding did well. He came in with the shoulder charge, and it had to be firm. We think it was on Knott. It had to be a firm shoulder charge because Knott was on his way. He had support. Saints a peg near their own line, and the Warrington tackling looks ferocious this afternoon. They know they've got something to do. Obviously, after the defeat, Jim, which we haven't said, Brian Johnson saw it fit to resign. He'd had enough. He didn't like the performance. Just a one-off result. And Clive Griffiths is in charge. He was the assistant coach, and it's his first game in charge, and he's obviously got to try and fire him up. You've always got to be wary of teams when the coach has departed and another one comes in, as Saints kick the ball forward. Saints have introduced a substitution. Paul Matheson has come on, maybe for the injured Pickavants.
That's wide again, and there's a real difference between this wide performance this afternoon and the opening 10 minutes, because the tackling is fierce, and Warrington are moving in very, very quickly to play the ball. And with the ball in their hands, I think they've done more in 10 minutes than they did at the whole of the evening on Thursday, but that was the first real handling error from Warrington. It's a knock-on. That'll be a scrum down, St Helens head and ball. And that again was the Warrington standoff. Yestin Harris in all the action. He appears to be the playmaker at the moment, and Saints appear to be standing off him a little bit. But here we've got probably only the second scrum of the game with Bobby Golding to field.
Yes, but Saints still pegged in their own 20, and obviously Warrington will try to contain them there, just as the Saints did to the wire the other night. Scott Gibbs, powerful Welsh centre, drives it forward, plays the ball. The Saints move it right. Well, offside decision against the wire, as substitute Paul Matheson comes through there. Matheson on for the injured Pickavants. 8 minutes, just approaching the 9th minute gone. Wire in the lead, 4 points to 0. Perolini drives it up. Took an injury to the back late on in the game. Didn't want to come off, and then scored a blistering try. But Matheson there taking a big hit. Another youngster in the Saints ranks. So there's Vivas, veteran campaigner. Vivas has lost possession, I think. Oh no, play allowed to go on. I thought the ball had squirted out. Matautia looking for space, shrugs one tackle off, looking for support, puts the ball back. Cunningham flicks it out to the right. Hammond sees the gap, he's driving for the line, he's a metre short. Penny, one of the tacklers there, along with Knott. It's played to Cunningham, out to Northey. Oh, that's a bit high on Northey. My word. Northey wants to get up and play it, but Temper's getting a little frayed there, but it should be a penalty to the Saints. A rather high tackle on Northey as he went in. The game stopped. Referee Campbell consults with the touch judges. Is it Northey that's going to be spoken to? I know he pushed Lee Penny off as he went to get up, but the initial tackle, I thought, Jim, was from Warrington, and it was a little high.
I think it was. I think it was more desperation, actually, rather than anything else, because it looked as if Northey was going to score right in the corner. But the referee's going to talk to Northey first, and he's also going to have a talk, I think, to Mappy as well, is he? No, he's just talking to Northey at the moment, so it looks as if there may well be a penalty to Warrington, which would surprise me, because I certainly thought the tackle was a little bit high. But there's a Warrington play coming across, and it looks like in fact as if it's Feenaut. The referee talking now to Mick Ford, and somebody's going to go. Mick Ford has been given 10 minutes in the sin bin, and I can't understand why. Lee Penny now comes forward. It may well be that Mick Ford said something to the referee, but Saints have got the ball back immediately. It's 13 against 12.
Yes, we don't know what happened there, whether it was Ford that came in with the high tackle, whether he said something out of turn, we don't know. But Saints now with a set of 6. Simon Booth, he took a high one there. I mean, he's about 6'2", Simon Booth, and Kelly Shelford, 5'8", came in, took him high. The game the other night was a very good-tempered game, very little incident at all. But referee Campbell, an ex-wingman for Saints, Jim, but I'm sure it won't sway his vision of the game. Bobby Golding, the captain, is having consultation. So maybe Bobby Golding said something as Simon Booth went through with the high tackle. Warrington being told, keep the tackles down, break cleanly, let's have a good clean contest. But it's a chance now for points on the board for the Saints. They trail by 4-0. We've had nearly 12 minutes of the game gone. And Bobby Golding obviously going for the conversion attempt. Obviously, Jim, Warrington, they've got to get their act together. Clive Griffiths will have sorted them out. He's been at Warrington quite a few years now, and he's in charge for today.
I think basically what that was, I think it's just pure desperation on Warrington's part, because they know they've lasted now for 12 or 13 minutes without scoring a try. And of course on Thursday, Saints by this time were 18 points up, so I think the tackling is a little bit too fierce. I don't think there's anything really nasty about it as yet, Ron, and I think the referee was quite wise there to talk to Bobby Golding. He also had a word with Paul Cullen as well and told both sets of players to calm down. He's quite right. As Bobby Golding puts the first 2 points on the board for Saints, so St Helens 2 points, Warrington 4, after about 13-14 minutes gone here at Knowsley Road. What a different game this is to the game we saw on Thursday night. And Warrington really do appear to be fired up, but perhaps a little bit too much, as Ron has just said, because indiscipline has shown a couple of times in the opening 14 or 15 minutes. There's Paul Cullen, the Warrington skipper. He was the player I think I felt most sorry for last Thursday night, because of course Paul signed for Warrington when he was 16 years of age, an ex-Butler Grammar School lad, the school that I went to, and he's given everything for Warrington. He was a skipper on the night, and I'm sure he must have been extremely distressed at the end of the game. That's Ian Knott, who had a very good game on Thursday night. In fact, he was pulled down 3 or 4 times, just short of the line, but didn't get over. Johnny Huff, Mosley lad, of course. I was talking to one of his friends in our pub the other night. Gary Chambers. So Mark Hilton's not yet come back on. Chambers spinning around trying to get the ball away, but it's clamped. And Warrington making some good ground forward. Kelly Shelford, he really will make a difference to the wide pack. That's a good kick as well, and it's beautifully taken there by Danny Arnold for Saints, only about 10 yards out from the try line. All kinds of pressure there, but Arnold did well, Ron.
He certainly did. He took it well under a lot of pressure. Mark Jones, I think, held down. He's saying to the referee, didn't he shout held? He was obviously still wrestling with Arnold. He felt that Arnold was still moving, but he took it well. Steve Prescott out injured, Danny Arnold in, and After today's game, 6 days rest, the final against the Pie Eaters at McAlpine Stadium. Eric Hughes, is he going to have an embarrassment of riches? Only 15 players to choose from this Saturday, with it being Regal, only 2 subs. Saints keep it going. Matautia draws to the halfway line, turns, looks for support. The Warrington defence is tight this time. It's moved to the right. Hammond over, it goes over there, and a great tackle by the wire. Shake the ball free. Now the touch judge on again. Is it Northey involved again? Is he going to be spoken to? As you say, Warrington down to 12 men. Mike Ford in the sin bin for 10 minutes, in the 10th minute. So he's got about another 5 or 6 minutes. Well, the penalty to the Saints. I mean, pick the bones out of that, Jim. We both look at each other and only the referee knows why. Something must have gone on in the tackle. Obviously a little bit of professionalism, as they say. But Saints move it left. Matautia straightens it up, brought down midway between. Oh, he releases it to Booth, inside to Gibbs. Gibbs again, powers into the wire 20. 15 minutes gone, 4 points to 2 the score. Goulding again, running the angles, moves it across. No, they couldn't take it, the ball's loose. It's gone touching goal. The knock-on's going to be given. Scrum down, Warrington feed. Saints trying to vary the play, the possession, and the actual ball control not as good as the other night. But you can't expect it to be, can you?
Not really, and Warrington is still allowing Bobby Goulding to run across the field. I think it's about time somebody nailed him, because he caused absolute havoc on Thursday night, and Warrington's still allowing him to do it. But Warrington's certainly on the wrong end of this penalty count at the moment. That's 4 penalties, and I think in the past 4 minutes. And 2 of the incidents, I'm not quite certain exactly what happened. But there again, the referee and the touch judge are working well in concert. And that's Gary Chambers. And it's St Helens' turn now to have to do a strong stint of tackling. Mark Jones getting away, running straight. Doesn't make too many breaks, Mark Jones, but he is difficult to put down. Onto Mick Ford. In fact, no, it's Yestin Harris, I think. And Yestin Harris spinning around there, trying to get the ball to Lee Penny, but he can't do it. He's put to ground. Johnny Huff, left-footed kick. Good 1-2 into the corner. It's a little bit too long, and it's going to go into touch and goal. No, it's not. In fact, Saints have got to play it, and the Warrington chase again is good run.
Yes, a superb angle kick into the corner. Joey Hayes had to play it, as you said, Jim. He took it well, he brought it out with Warrington coming up, and Warrington again adjudged to have infringed at the play of the ball. So the penalty count against the wire, favouring the Saints. They make yardage upfield, and Perolini, he's wrestled to the ground, Ian Knott. Hilton was the initial tackler, then Knott. And now it's slipped to Matautia. Matautia breaks free. He drives upfield. He turns Penny inside out. And Matautia's on his way. Can he get to the line? Oh, he can. He touches it down by the sticks. Superb try. Must have been 80 metres, that. Instrumental. Bobby Goulding slipped him the ball. And Matautia, he's took a knock as he goes over the line. Goulding's one of the first there along with Beavers. But what a great try that puts the Saints' first try on the board. 17 minutes gone. My word, we know Matautia can get through there. A lovely slip ball. Slipped, I'm sure it was Bobby Goulding that slipped him the ball. Matautia came through at pace. He only had Lee Penny to beat. He turned him inside out, pushed him away, and with another Warrington tackler coming in, he bounced the ball over the whitewash, and Saints come up with a 4-pointer that puts them into the lead at 6 points to 4.
I still think Lee Penny should have put him down, because Lee Penny went high and Matautia just pushed him up. I think had Lee Penny gone a little bit lower, Matautia would have gone, because he was moving at pace. It was a lovely inside pass there from Bobby Goulding, and he just slipped the defence straight through it, knife through butter, as we say. But there was Lee Penny in front of him. He really should have put him to ground and didn't. And nobody else got close to him, but I think he hurt his shoulder as he went over. He certainly put the ball down well. It was a good try, really clean, there were no problems with that. But I don't think Lee Penny will be very happy with himself there on a 1-to-1 situation with a player running straight at you. Really, that player should go on the deck, and he didn't. Ian Knott. And that may well have put some life into Saints. In the lead by 8 points to 4. Look, Warrington have given as good as they've got up to now. And Mark Hilton's back on the field. And it looks as if Ian Knott is carrying an injury there. He's limping. Mark Jones, half a break there from Jones as well. But what we really need, if you're a Warrington supporter, is not just breaks from the forwards. We need the forwards to be followed, and we need some backing up, as we're seeing quite well at the moment. But St Helens regained possession there, Ron, and that was a good attacking movement from Warrington. Again, came to nothing.
Yes, it's this lad Shelford that's going to perhaps inject the pace along with Harris. We know you're still down to 12 men. We Mike Ford still in the sin bin, but he's due back on any time now as Gibbs breaks up the left wing. Inside support from Andy Haig. Haig's going under the sticks. Oh, Saints are in again. Brilliant work. Full length of the field job for the Saints. Warrington were nearly in at the other end, the top corner, the clubhouse end and the main stand side. And then from the resulting play, Saints brought it crossfield. They brought it to the popular side where we are, Jim. Gibbs went up the touchline. Support from Haig. He did well. He went inside. The Warrington defence couldn't stop him. And Saints in for another try, the second within 3 minutes. But I was just saying about Shelford, along with Yestin Harris, he should be able to run the roost in this Warrington side. He usually does. He's an exciting player. Saints have made another substitution. I think it's Matautia that's gone off, and Kevin O'Loughlin has come on. Obviously, we can't afford to leave injured players on, especially with the final, and top-class players like Pickavance and Matautia that have been injured. They've been substituted early by Eric Hughes. It's another 6 points to the Saints, making it 14 points to 4. But Saints did well there. They come the full length, moved it well. Gibbs again, good play inside. But the Warrington defence tested yet again, Jim, and after a great start, obviously with them taking the lead in the second minute, and it was 12, 14, 15 minutes before Saints got really into the stride, but they've gone back into the old ways, Jim.
They have, and that quite frightened me, that try on the left there, because it was it was easily scored. And Warrington again are beginning to lose possession, and that's what caused them problems, because Yestin Harris and Kelly Shelford, as Ron quite rightly says, is probed well. Both of them have played exceptionally well in the opening 20 minutes, and they've set up 1 or 2 really good chances for Warrington, but the ball's gone to ground, and it's happened again. And Warrington, of course, are only with 12 players on the park as Bobby Golding feeds. And I think it may well be that Mick Ford's come back on.
Yes, Ford just coming back on there, Jim. So back to the full complement. But Saints have the possession in the wire 20. Kevin O'Loughlin steaming for the line, brought down 3 metres short. Kieran Cunningham at dummy half. Saints bring it left. Perolini coming through at pace. He twists in the tackle. He's a metre short there. Oh, Cunningham tried to scoop it up and go over the line, but it was a knock-on. He fumbled the ball. The idea was right. The execution just wasn't. And that would have been the wire, another 4 points down, and probably 6 from the trusty boot of Golding. But it's a scrum down. Warrington feed, 10 metres from their own line, Jim, and 20 metres in from the main stand side.
Thanks very much, Ron. And that was Bobby Golding who tackled Mick Ford. Whether he was onside or not, I'm not quite certain. But Yestin Harris coming away with the ball now. But Warrington are putting themselves under all kinds of pressure. Interesting tackle was that. Looked like a spear tackle to me. There's Mark Hilton coming in. But the Saints players coming in very, very quickly. And I think Saints are in front, obviously by dint of 2 good tries, but also because Warrington have dropped the ball in some very, very promising positions indeed, which is exactly what they did on Thursday night on so many occasions. Warrington spinning it around now, onto Kelly Shelford. That looks like Finau. Finau hands inside again to Shelford. Shelford still going, making his presence felt. The backing up is there. It looks like Maffei, eventually onto Mick Ford. Mick Ford moving inside, and a lovely attacking movement there from Warrington. That shows you what they can do with the ball in their hands. Yestin Harris again. Has the ball gone lost? It has. And St Helens come away. It's Scott Gibbs, and this is the story of today's game. St Helens coming away again, and I must hand over to Ron. With St Helens very nearly scored again.
Yes, Arnold held down, 20 metres short, 10 metres short, I beg your pardon. Well, has he played it to himself, Danny Arnold? Somebody's going to get sin-binned here. Well, another Warrington player sin-binned. Professional foul. Andy Courier sin-binned. So Warrington down to 12 men.
11 men. Ian Knott's coming up. He's been sin-binned.
Oh, Knott and Courier sin-binned for professional fouls. 24 minutes gone. So Warrington down to 11. Arnold there breaking through, great break by the Saints. Warrington again within a sniff there, Jim, of crossing the whitewash. They lost possession, an awkward ball, they couldn't take it. Scott Gibbs picked it up, then it was brought across to the left. Arnold, the final man, he was held, well, he was held down in the end, but he was brought down on the 20. And from the resulting play, I didn't know whether Arnold had tried to play it to himself, Jim, obviously with the players in there. But referee Campbell right on the job, and he's pulled out Ian Knott and Andy Courier, and he sent them both off to the sin bin for 10 minutes enforced or unenforced rest.
Well, it's a fairly difficult kick, in fact, for Bobby Golding, but Ron's quite right there. Warrington with a really flowing attacking movement that was a good 80 yards, probably even 90 yards, only 10 yards from the line, and yet again the ball goes to ground. How many times did we see that on Thursday? How many times have we seen it tonight? And of course Saints come right back at them. And Saints in the lead by 14 points to 4. I don't really think Warrington deserved that at the moment, but having said that, you've got to control the ball. And that's what Warrington are not good enough at doing, and that's going to be, is that going to go between the posts? It's just to the right. So Warrington breathe a sigh of relief. But with 11 players on the park now, with about 15 minutes to go to half-time, Warrington really are going to have to hold the Saints out. Because I think we're going to find there'll be wave after wave after wave of Saints attack on the Warrington line. And 11 against 13. With the class of the St Helens side, I think Warrington will be very, very lucky if they don't go even further behind, as Yestin Harris, with a trusty boot, puts the ball down to the Saints 20, Ron.
Thanks, Jim. It doesn't always work that way, that 11 against 13. I mean, we obviously think back to bad things, and in the Premiership playoff last season, Leeds with 11 men took the Saints apart when the Saints had a healthy lead, but the Saints are breaking up the wing. It's Andy Haig, he comes inside. Cullen brings him down. Gibbs there attacked in half. Saints play it infield, they keep it going, they move it across, they've got to expose the holes in the Warrington ranks. It's been knocked back by a wire player, I think that's going to be play on. Well, the referee's blown the whistle. Saints were trying to spread it out. They've given head and feet to Warrington. I thought Warrington had knocked the ball back and Saints gathered it and play on, but obviously not. So Saints obviously trying to expose the gaps with 11 men, but falling down there.
Yeah, it looked to me as if a Warrington player played that ball then, but the referee didn't seem to think so. And Warrington have only got 5 players in the scrum at the moment. Obviously Ian Knott as a loose forward is not there. So Warrington really are short-handed. Yestin Harris. Warrington lose it again, and this really is very, very bad control of the ball. And it doesn't matter who your coach is, they can't account for that. So that's going to be, in fact, on the first tackle, another scrum down, Saints head and ball just outside the 20. And how many times have Warrington done this? Certainly about 5 times in the last 6 or 7 minutes. And you can't win a game like that, Ron.
Well, you can't, Jim. It's Lee Penny that made the error. Northey out to Hammond. Joey Hayes in at the corner. That was right from the base of the scrum. Excellent play by the Saints. And they should take sides apart like this. 13 against 11. And they proved the worth. 27 minutes gone on the clock. Golding took it from the base of the scrum, moved it over to the right. Hammond, I think it was, then onto Northey, onto Joey Hayes. 4 points for the Saints. Right out wide. A metre, if that, in from the touchline. 100% success up to now. Composing his... Oh, I beg your pardon, Jim. Yes, he has missed one, hasn't he? The one just a couple of minutes ago. But Golding strikes it well. Well, they like that one, don't they? Oh, and it's a pearler. It's a rasper. Right over the crossbar. Another 2 points to add on to the Hayes try. And that makes it 20 points to 4. Golding with his 4th goal of the afternoon. And Warrington again concede 6 points. But obviously with 11 men and Saints in rampant mood, should capitalise on the holes in the Warrington defence.
Well, Saints look as if they're going to do that. And really Warrington started this game off so well, scoring just on 4 minutes. They've had some really good attacks on the Saints line, but they've lost 3 players through the sin bin. In other words, lack of discipline, and also they've lost the ball on so many occasions they can't control the ball properly. And one wonders what Clive Griffiths is thinking at the moment, because he really appeared to me to have fired the Warrington side up. And Warrington have played well in patches this afternoon, but how on earth can you win at Knowsley Road when you've only got 11 players on the park? Warrington still in possession. Where's Yestin Harris? Here he is. Certainly when Yestin Harris gets the ball, lots of things do happen. And Mark Jones having one of his better games for the club, I think. Certainly a strong running, tall, rangy number 8. That's a good kick. That's going to go into touch just 2 or 3 yards from the Saints line, and that's really what Warrington need to do now. They've got to get Saints. If Saints going to have the ball in their hands, it's got to be inside their own 20. And these Warrington players will come back probably in about 6 minutes' time. I think they've only been off about 4 minutes at the moment. So I think Saints, no doubt, will be looking to capitalise on the wire mistakes and score again.
Yes, the Wire have got to keep the Saints down in their own 20, but I'm sure the Saints know that Wire are 2 down. The ball will be spread, it'll be moved out to the wings, and we've got some speed in the wings, and with us, Haig again! He's a Warrington lad, he's from Crossfields. Oh, and he's taken a little high by Forster as he came through there, but Saints break again, blindside, Cunningham scampering away. Oh, Cunningham's going for the line! He's hauled into touch, 5 metres short. My word, Saints did well there. They played the blind side, they capitalised up there. Bobby Goulding, the first man in. We know it's going to be head and feet to Warrington, but Saints move up there. Lax tackling by the Wire. Haig got through, moved up the wing. Cunningham took it from the acting half-back and was just hauled down. But from one end to the other, Jim, the Wire are now, they're going to have scrum and feed, head and feed at the scrum, I should say, but they're in their own 20, and let's hope the Saints can contain them.
And the Wire tackling really is found wanting here. After a really good start to this game, Warrington are missing tackles with abandon at the moment. That's Andy Curry's back on already. He seemed to go off at the same time as Ian Knott, or did Andy Curry just go off for attention? I'm not certain. Have Warrington got 12 players on the park? Everything going on here at Nosey Road at the moment, as Johnny Huff finds out, as he's held in a bear hug. Yestin Harris at dummy half. Warrington 20 points to 4 down now. I don't really think that they deserve that at this stage of the game. Having said that, Saints have put 3 good tries on the board. Warrington have certainly played a lot better than they did in the semi-final of the Regal Trophy. Andy Currier onto Mark Foster. He scored a few tries against Saints. I was going to say there that his experience didn't help him much, because I think Mark Foster would have been better to go down, would have been better advised to come in field, because that was only on the 3rd or possibly the 4th tackle, and he goes into touch. And I'm looking at if Ian Knott's on the field. I don't think he is, so Warrington may well have just had one man in the sin bin. John Thurstfield's just come on as well, so I think Warrington are back now to the full 13, and Thurstfield certainly will stiffen up the Wire tackling.
Yes, Saints have the possession. Thursfield usually in the hooking role, is he? And obviously they reckon Brian Johnson was experimenting with him at the other night, or the other game when they played against Wigan. Thursfield in for Johnny Huff, but Huff certainly a little darting character that makes some good yardage, and we've an excellent player that makes good yardage in our own Kieran Cunningham, as he was just shown a minute or so earlier. But Saints have the penalty award. Warrington infringing again, 7 minutes to the half-time. Yes, we're just a bit of a mix-up there with me and Jim. We still don't know with Currier going off, or whether he just got off for attention. But there should be about another 3 minutes before the Wire are back to full complement. If not, has been sin-binned. We know Thurstfield's come on. Cunningham, attacked in half-back, he scampers away. He'll try and exploit every gap, slips it to Hammond again, oh, inside ball there, Joey Hayes comes through, he's held down just short, the referee stopped play, he's bringing somebody out, it didn't look all that bad, as the Saints moved upfield there, but it must be a high tackle on Joey Hayes. Well, he sent somebody off. Yellow card. Oh, it's the red card. He sent him off for a high tackle. Finau, I think it is. My word, Warrington are really in the mire, aren't they? Saints took the tap quickly, the referee wasn't ready, but a Warrington player sent off in the 34th minute. We're not quite sure who's been sent off. Definitely a Wire player. Yeah, Finau, I thought it was Finau. High tackle is the indication on Joey Hayes as he came through. It was that quick going through there. We didn't pick it up straight away, Jim, but obviously with the advantage of action replay we could pick it up. High collision body contact sport this, but Finau there sent off, given the old red card by referee Campbell, and Warrington right up against it. Golding with the attempted conversion, no problem this time, slips it between the uprights. The Golding penalty goal makes it 22 points to 4, 5 minutes to the interval. Golding's 5th of the afternoon, and the Wire will get possession. I think Knott should be coming back on now, Jim, but really up against it now.
Well, with only 12 players on the park, it really has gone wrong for Warrington again. But they're back in possession. They're losing the ball virtually every time they start a passing movement. Warrington are putting the ball to ground. They're putting themselves under all kinds of pressure. They're on the end of the penalty count. Of that there's no doubt whatsoever. They've got 12 players now on the park. Obviously Clive Griffiths has fired them up, but it's obviously not good enough. And what the Warrington coaching staff will do now, I'm not certain, because Warrington have put themselves under all kinds of pressure. That's Johnny Thursfield, eventually onto Iestyn Harris. Warrington spinning it along. Kelly Shelford, I thought at first Kelly Shelford had been sent off. I can see him there in the centre of the field. Iestyn Harris again. And it may well be that Warrington, with 12 players on the park, will just have to throw this ball around. They've got no option, I don't think. That's Mick Ford again. And that's gone into touch. It's a good one. I think it bounced just short of the line, in fact. It looked to me initially as if that would go directly into touch. That'll be a scrum down. Again, with about 3 or 4 minutes to go to half-time, Warrington are quite right to put Saints back inside their own 20. But it's going to be 12 against 13 for the whole of the second half. And I'm sure Saints will be rubbing their hands thinking, how many points can we score in the next 40 minutes run?
Yes, it was Bobby Golding that came in and tried to close Mike Ford down there. I think it was Ford that did the kick, and it did bounce in field, so it was a good kick in the end, but that's the tactics. Hustle the opposition, put them under pressure. Northey with possession now. 22-4 Saints, handsomely in the lead after Harris scored in the second minute, which gave the Wire the lead. 3 minutes to the interval, but it's all one-way traffic, and theoretically it should be all one-way traffic, with Saints with numerical advantage. Cunningham again moves it to the right. Drop-off ball, Perolini up to the halfway line. Last tackle of this sequence of 6. Saints in possession, and it's with Golding for the kick upfield. An angled kick, Haig following it. Forster will gather it. Forster will have to play it. He does. He comes midfield. The Saints reception committee come to meet him.
Mark Forster was greeted there by 3 St Helens players as soon as he got the ball, really. There's Lee Penny. Just breaks the Wire 20. Warrington spinning it around. Kelly Shelford. He's worked well with Iestyn Harris this afternoon. Mark Hilton. Mark Hilton goes back. In fact, he makes a lovely break. There's Mark Hilton, but who's with him? And you can see there wasn't a Warrington player within 10 yards apart from Mick Ford. But Warrington are not backing up as well as they might. There's Andy Courier. And Courier put to ground eventually. And it's going to have to be Mark Foster to do a stint in the dummy half berth. Get on to Mick Ford. Iestyn Harris. Iestyn Harris spinning around again, bouncing off players. Helped out there by, I think that was Mark Jones. And here's a Wire sub, Johnny Thursfield. Warrington spinning it out on the narrow side. A kick ahead by Shelford. That's the kind of things that Warrington should be doing. Warrington regained possession, but what a really ridiculous thing to do. And that looked to me as if that was Maffey going through. Would have been well advised to hold on to that ball, but he's in fact got Warrington ahead and feed. I really think he should have gone down with that. Obviously a Saints player played it. And eventually back in possession. So Warrington now, they're 22 points to 4 down, or 20 points to 4. 22 points to 4 down. With only 2 or 3 minutes to go to half-time, they'd love a try now. On to Lee Penny, just inside the 20. Warrington really have attacked with a purpose this afternoon, but they've got in so many good positions and lost the ball, as they've done again. And how many times have we seen that from Warrington this afternoon? This really must be an absolute nightmare for the Wire coaching staff.
The wire, no player at the acting half-back position, and Saints came in and capitalised on it, and then Warrington infringed again, and Saints with a penalty which brings them up about 8 metres short of the halfway line. Matheson driving the ball in, gets into Warrington territory. 40 minutes gone on the clock, just playing in time, added on for stoppages. Saints handsomely in the lead, 22 points to 4. Simon Booth obviously in the running for a place in the final squad for Saturday's game against the Pie Eaters again, where the Saints must be really confident and rampant, and a good performance today will put them in good stead. But Wigan, the best team in the land, the best team in the rugby league, and the best team in the world, and I'm going to wash my mouth out after saying that, but they're the ones to be beaten, and I think Saints have got the team that can do it. Golding, Perellini, inside ball to Booth. Booth stretches the legs, support inside, and Danny Arnold touches down behind the sticks. Another superb long-range try by the Saints. Finished off by Danny Arnold. Saints throwing the ball out, as they say, with gay abandon. Lovely break upfield by Simon Booth, and then no lack of support by the Saints, backing the man up in possession. Turned the ball inside. Arnold touched it down in between the sticks. Warrington come here in twice in 4 days, and they're going to get the bum smacked again. I can't see Clive Griffiths lifting his side, but you are down to 12 men, Jim, and you're going to be up against it. But bad play, and obviously foul play. The referee took control, sent the man off, and nothing you can do about it, Jim, is there?
Not really, and just doing some maths here, that's 108 points that Warrington have conceded in 120 minutes of football here at Knowsley Road, and in fact this must be possibly the worst run in Warrington's long and very proud history, because they've now conceded 193 points in 280 minutes of rugby. And is that a top-class side? It can't be any more, I don't think, because Warrington are going to have to buy of that, there's no doubt whatsoever. They can't wait for the youngsters to come through now, because they're in grave difficulty and grave danger of going right down, I think, to the bottom of the league when the Super League begins, if they continue in this form. But Warrington really have put themselves under all kinds of pressure. They've lost the ball again. They managed to regain it, but really even Yestin Harris himself there would have been better advised to go down, I think. But Warrington are panicking here. It's hardly surprising, I suppose. Back on to Shelford, and the referee says obviously that's a forward pass. It appeared to bounce off Cullen back into the arms of Kelly Shelford, but Warrington again, with only 2 tackles gone in that play, lose possession. Scrum down, Saints head and ball. 28 points to 4. I suppose it's better than 36-0 as it was the other night, but really Warrington don't well, I think they put themselves under pressure, and Saints have been allowed to come back at them.
Yes, and Saints will take these chances with both hands, won't they? Consistency is something that lets the Saints down. They're not doing so bad now, 2 games on the trot against obviously a low morale Warrington side. It must be low morale after that thrashing. But Gibbs again powers through. Shoulder charge, shoulder to shoulder with Thursfield, pushes him out of the way. Cunningham again into space. It takes 3. Well, they don't get him down. He's still stood. He's stood the grass now, down on the earth. Haig attacked in half. Saints move it centre field. Bobby Golding, and Golding has led by example today. Chips it through for Hayes. Oh, Hayes just couldn't control it. Just says a few choice words there as he walks back, but there's the half-time hooter. Great display by the Saints in the first half after trailing 4 points to 0 after the 2nd minute, when Harris went through for an excellent try. And was the writing on the cards there? A lot of people had tipped Warrington to bounce back today, but Saints came back with a vengeance. A golden penalty goal, then 3 tries in the space of 10 minutes from Matautia, Haig and Hayes, all goal by Golding. Another golden penalty goal and an Arnold try in the 38th minute there, sealing the first half for the Saints. 28 points to 4 the score as they go in for the Lemons. And Warrington obviously been given the kiss of death by Steve O, as I said the other night. He's tipped Warrington to take over the Wigan mantle. He tipped Saints, he's been tipping Leeds, he's gone on to Warrington now. It relieves the pressure off us. Let's see if we can start tipping Wigan and see if they go down a bit. But the half-time score here at Knowsley Road, St Helens 28, The Wire 4. For the half-time score, Saints will receive the ball from the kick-off as the wire. They'll have had the riot act read to them by Clive Griffiths at half-time. Well, what happened next? But the wire down to 12 players. Fee now sent off in the 34th minute of the first half. Bobby Golding, who's led by example, he's been here, there, everywhere, all over the field. Covered well at the sweeper position when Warrington were breaking through, pulled off some great try-saving tackles. And Joey Hayes taken down by Harris. Cunningham from acting half slipped it out. Hammond, the man, I think they're in possession. But now it's Perolini. Matautia gone off injured, along with Ian Pickavance. But Cunningham nearly brought through the taken down by Maffey. Golding again puts an angled kick, crossfield kick. It's hanging in the breeze. Vivers knocks it back. It's all on, is it? The referee allowing play to go on. Andy Haig chips it. Saints are playing on. Penny comes in. Penny's knocked it forward. Penny's knocked it into touch. Must be head and feet to the Saints. The referee there says it's gone in off the Warrington player. Head and feet to Saints. 10 metres from the Warrington line. 20 metres in from the main stand touchline here at Nosey Road. And Saints with a chance now to build up on that 28-4 lead. And I'm sure Golding and company will take full advantage. Gibbs slips it back inside. It's now with Northey. Saints, instead of spreading it out, trying to capitalise on gaps in the Warrington defence, are pouncing about centre field. Kevin O'Loughlin. Joey Hayes from the acting half position. Tough customer, head down, drives in. Only knows one way. Golding. Saints loose play, Warrington snap it up, but it's still in their own 20.
So right at the start of the second half, Saints start the way they ended the first half, really, with putting Warrington under all kinds of pressure. That may well be a penalty to Warrington. We haven't seen too many of those this afternoon because the Warrington discipline has been found wanting. And Paul Cullen talking there to Mike Ford. I don't know exactly what he was saying to him, trying to motivate him. I don't know really. We gave him a push in the chest and said, get up there, come on, come and do something. Mark Hilton. Haven't seen too much of Mark Hilton. He went off after 4 or 5 minutes of the first half to the blood bin. Mark Jones has had one of his better games for the club, I think. Running straight, running hard, centre field. That's Johnny Thursfield, spins it along in the arms of Yestin Harris. And there's Lee Penny, half a break there from Lee Penny, he's still going. Eventually put to ground, just 2 or 3 yards outside the 20. Warrington 28 points to 4 down, I'd love a try now. And again it's Shelford, but Warrington really at 6s and 7s there. Back onto Shelford again. And Warrington being pushed back in that movement, 2 or 3 yards. Again, Mick Ford spins it on inside, onto Knott. Now back on the field after his spell of 10 minutes in the sin bin. Warrington using the narrow side. Andy Courier getting it onto Foster. Foster hands it back in, but he's in touch. Scrum down. That's going to be a Warrington feed, I think. Ball obviously touched the Saints player. So the scrum, of course, now moving in 20 metres. Nightmare for a fullback, I think, particularly so close to the line as well. Which way will Warrington run this? Mick Ford, open side. Onto Yestin Harris. Warrington spinning it along onto Ian Knott. And there was Maffey waiting for that ball there. But again, the last pass is a poor one. It's into touch, scrum down. Saints head and ball, so Warrington had 1 or 2 opportunities in this second half to put a try on the board, but they haven't done so as yet. And Warrington, of course, as Ron said quite rightly in his opening remarks of the second half, playing with 12 players, owing to the sending off of Salesi Finau for a high tackle. But Warrington's tackling certainly better than on Thursday, Ron.
Yes, it is a bit, but Saints obviously will have to try and expose the gaps. Usually the side with a man down puts a lot more effort into it. and Warrington will have to put a lot more effort into it, won't they? Oh, Cunningham, there's another man. He's going to be down the tunnel. That's Cullen. He's the captain. He's saying it's the shoulder, sir. Well, if it's a funny position to have your shoulder, Paul Cullen, the referee is telling people to be quiet. That tackle was a stiff arm round the neck. Cullen's going to be spoken to. Well, it looks as though he's drawing the Saints player out. Oh, it's Cullen that's being brought to him. It was a bad tackle. Well, I thought it was a bad tackle anyway. Keep it down, he said. He's saying it's gone, the initial contact was on the shoulder and it's gone up and round the neck. And if that's the case, he's had a warning. Saints have the penalty. And we'll restart to build up. Perellini has to take the tackle. Mark Jones, Mark Hilton in there. Jones, big raw bone forward. Once linked with Saints before his move up to Hull. Thursfield the man in on Matheson. The Wire moving up quickly. They've got to move up quickly. They're a man down. They've got to try and close Saints down with ball possession. Saints have got to spread the ball. They've got to capitalise on the one man down. Cunningham down the blind side. Did well, pushed out to one tackle, but he's forced into touch. Not, I think it was, missed him first time. Then he came back for a second bite of the cherry. Yestin Harris involved there, but great tackling in the end, Jim. The tackling's got to be paramount by Warrington, hasn't it?
Yeah, that was much better tackling, and I think they may well have had a lecture at half-time from Clive Gribbis on clamping the ball, because Warrington were tackling quite well in the first half, but Saints were able to get rid of the ball. And we're having 7 or 8 tackles to the 6, really. That's Lee Penny. And Warrington have not given up the ghost as yet. They're certainly playing with more pride than they did on Thursday night. There's Paul Cullen. Good tackle on Paul Cullen there by Andy Northey, who to me was the pick of the Saints players, I think, with Bobby Golding on Thursday. Mark Hilton. So Warrington are really attacking now with a vengeance. There's Johnny Thursfield, dummy half. Can't see John Huff on the field at the moment. That was a long pass, that's a knock on. And there's Bobby Golding, turns around with a grin on his face. Was that really me, sir, he said. And it was. So he comes back and 1 or 2 Warrington players swapping grins with him. Well, that'll be a Saints head and ball. Again, Warrington losing possession as the packs go down, and Golding's got the ball in his hands, Ron.
Yes, I thought it to be Warrington head and ball. I know Bobby Golding knocked the ball down, but he's obviously given the first knock on. Reckon Warrington parted with it. Golding played it on, knocked it forward. I really thought he would have given the head and feet to Warrington, but Saints break through. Carl Hammond sidesteps, off one, off the other, driving for the line. Support on the left, oh dearie me. Andy Haig couldn't take it. Saints make a mistake with the line at the mercy, and he's given head and feed to the Saints, Jim. That's another decision there as he's moving down. Looks as though Saints had knocked it forward, and if they hadn't, Warrington got possession, or even if they knocked it forward, it should be the first knock on. So another strange decision by referee Campbell. A good attacking position for the Saints. Golding brings it infield. Carl Hammond. Danny Arnold coming through from the full-back position. Lee Penny, his counterpart, tackles him along with Yestin Harris. But it's the Saints now pressing. Move it left. Golding again, trying to run the angles. Cut out ball to Perellini. Perellini drives for the line, but the Warrington tackling has tightened up. Vivers onto Matheson. Matheson driving. Solid tackling there. Thursfield one. Jones another. Mike Ford. Blindside ploy. Andy Haig twists, turns. Can't push it over the whitewash. Thursfield again. He's doing a bit of mauling. He's Thursfield at the tackling. But you've got to do when you're a man down and see if you can get away with it. Ian Knott makes no mistake, sees the danger. Can't mess about in those situations. Boots the ball dead. The Wire will restart from between the sticks. No points in this second half so far. 9 minutes have gone. 28 points to 4. Still the half-time score. Or the score that it was at half-time, I should say. Yestin Harris just having a blow there, just taking his time. Obviously the 12 Wire players have got to do that extra bit and get stuck in there, and they've held out for the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Arnold comes through, Thursfield again doing a mountain of tackling. Hammond at dummy half, Simon Booth. Jones in there along with Ford, the little and large show. Cunningham brings it wide. Out of the tackle, I think that's Simon Booth again. No, it's Kevin O'Loughlin, I beg your pardon. Golding takes it over, on to Gibbs. Well, as the referee let it go, I thought the pass was forward there, Jim. I think Saint's very fortunate there. He's not given the try. He's ruled it out. He's given the forward pass, Jim. I could see the look of disgust on your face, and obviously I was amazed. As the ball went through there, it went off a Saints player, bounced forward. Scott Gibbs took it, went for the line, went for the touchdown. But then the referee moved to point to the spot, and then he got word from his touch judge, and the try ruled out. Correct decision, Jim.
It was a correct decision. I don't like to criticise referees, Ron, but I think that would have been my first. Had he allowed that try to stand, that really was very well forward. Having said that, Mr. Campbell did well working in concert with the touch judge. We like to see that happening because the touch judge sometimes is up with play, more than the referee is. Kelly Shelford. Shelford still going, making a break, coming down the blind side. Gets into the Saints half of the field. So we've got attacking position here for Warrington. That's the first tackle in this play. Yestin Harris again on his own. Back to Hilton. Hilton still going towards the Saints fullback. And he's tackled there just about 10 yards short. So Warrington have certainly not given up this game at all. And are throwing the ball about at the moment with abandon. That's played by a Saints player. That's going to be a penalty to Warrington, I think. Offside. Warrington surely will tap this and go. They would be well advised to do it now, and they have done that. And that's going to be Mark Jones. Is he going over on his back? I think he is. That'll be a scrum down, but it'll be Warrington's head and ball again. So Warrington have got a chance to reduce this deficit of 24 points, 28 points to 4 at the moment. And Warrington, of course, opened the scoring after 2 minutes with a try by Yestin Harris. Unfortunately, he couldn't convert it. Well, that'll be the Warrington put in. Wire feed, wire head. The ball out immediately. On to Courier. Warrington have got a chance here. Yestin Harris goes through. Good try by Yestin Harris again, holding the ball in 2 hands, inviting the opposition to come to him, asking the opposition all the questions. What am I going to do with this ball? Is it going to be an inside pass? Is it going to be an outside pass? Am I going to score? And he did the third. So Harris has scored his second try of the afternoon. The score 28 points to 8 after about 13 minutes in the second half. And we can see him there taking a couple of steps to the left. Harris comes in. That's right between the posts. Good goal by Yestin Harris. So all the 10 points from Warrington this afternoon are scored by Yestin Harris himself. Kick downfield into the Saints 20. It'll be the Saints' turn to be under pressure, but they still lead by 28 points to 10. I think Warrington will find it very difficult to win this game. Having said that, they've certainly got 1 or 2 smiles on the faces of the spectators, I think, this afternoon, Ron.
Yes, they certainly have. As we said, pride is the name of the game, especially after that blitz in the other night. Already defeated the Saints at Wilderspool this season, 28 points to 16. Certainly at the time that Saints played at Wilderspool, Saints were expected to come up with the 2 points. But they didn't. The wire showed the class on that occasion. They put some good touches together this afternoon. It's 15 minutes before the opening score of the second half, and it was Harris, but there's Golding, gives the dummy, slips it in and out, chips in for the corner. Hayes is chasing it. Can he win the touchdown? Oh, he can! That's a try, and Hayes just stops himself short of crashing into the concrete outer fence in there. But superb work there as Saints hit back straight away. Good work by Golding. Led the Warrington defence a merry dance, and Golding, he's pleased with that. He's the first man over. He comes over. The players gather round him, congratulate him. But he saw the gap in the Warrington defence, went in and out, went through it, looking for support coming up. There wasn't anybody on hand, but Joey Hayes was on the right wing. A difficult kick for the right-footed kicker. Nicely teed up there. So after Warrington scoring in the 12th minute of the second half, they're open the second half scoring. Saints hit back in good style. Go, they like that, don't they? A superb kick, well flighted, and right between the uprights. So once again, Bobby Golding well in line for the Man of the Match award. He's led by example, and he's looking forward to a big display today, and obviously a big display leading the Saints into the Regal Trophy final. Saints will kick off. The Wire will get back possession. They did well, the Wire, obviously scoring there, 12 against 13. They have the possession now. They're pegged in their own 20, and that was the first tackle of their set of 6.
So that really is a sign of a good side, that they hit back immediately after Iestyn Harris's second try and his conversion. 34 points to 10 now, and it certainly is for pride, because Warrington are not going to win this game. There's Mark Hilton running straight as he always does, right into the opposition. Johnny Thursfield, John Huff been brought off the field, obviously. There's Lee Penny. Lee Penny releases the ball to Iestyn Harris, who's still going centre field. That's a high tackle on him. Surely it was obviously Harris was weaving his way through, and I don't really think the Saints player, who was that, Ron? Simon Booth. I don't really think he intended to do that, because Iestyn Harris was really weaving his way through, jinking back and forth, and he can't be easy to put on the deck. Mark Jones, 34 points to 10, onto Thursfield. Ford this time in the action. Ford spinning around again. The tackling come in, but Warrington are only 4 or 5 yards short of the 20. They'd love another try now. Iestyn Harris again, who has also in his turn led the Saints defend to merry dance, but Warrington regained possession there after a poor pass that went to ground. Iestyn Harris again. Is he going to be held in an upright tackle? He is. Johnny Thursfield at dummy half. Back onto Mick Ford. Mick Ford still going. Ball goes to ground. Knock on. I don't know how many times that's happened, and I don't know how many times I've said it this afternoon. Scrum down. Saints head and ball. The Warrington spectators don't like that particularly, but from what I could see, the referee was quite right, Ron.
Yes, Mike Ford just should have held it. Tried to squeeze it out. Mark Jones came up with the ball, but it had gone forward. Solid tackling by the Saints. Did the job there, but Warrington just not being able to finish in vital areas. Scored two good tries from Iestyn Harris. As you say, he scored all the Wire points. Northey breaks out of the tackle. He drives again down the main stand side. Northey with Penny on him. Penny comes, completes the tackle, drags him a couple of yards back. Saints move up. The Wire have to defend along the line. Golding to Booth. Booth at pace. Back to Cunningham. Cunningham escapes the tackle. Well, he doesn't. I just thought he was on his way, and he just had his leg taken by Mike Ford. But Golding again running the roost, drawing the defence in. Not on this occasion. He's well tackled. Hilton round the top and Iestyn Harris round the legs. Hammond chips it, yes. Oh, he was just going to touch it down. It was kicked away by a Wire player. And Warrington will drop out from between the sticks when the ball's regathered. While we're waiting for the Wire to kick off, if I can give a get well message to Jack Coatsworth. He's the assistant kit man to Stan Wall here. He's been laid up in bed with flea-bitis over the holiday period. Obviously defeats by Wigan and Leeds will have put him on a downer, but a great win last Thursday against the Wire in the Regal Trophy, 18-0. That boosted him up, and obviously with Saints in command today at 34-10, he'll be back on song, won't he? Anyway, gets well soon, Jack. Best wishes from all of the Saints, all of us on Micron, and we hope to see you back here giving you sweets out in the near future. But the Wire drop it out. Saints will gather it on the halfway line. Danny Arnold, the man in possession. A valuable 10 metres forward. Bobby Golding leading his troops, prodding, probing, pointing, and he's done a monumental task in getting his troops organised. Kieran Cunningham shakes out of one tackle, moves it over to the right. Perellini like a three-quarter, out to the back door to Joey Hayes. Oh, taken by Hammond, took it well. Out to the back door again. No, they couldn't gather it. Maybe the pass was forward. Has he given the knock on? Even the referee's clapping his hands at the Saints' performance this afternoon. There's no danger about that, because I'm sure he's not feeling the cold anyway, Jim. Head and feet to Warrington. The line nearly breached again, Jim.
Again, some absolutely tremendous interpassing by St Helens there, but it all got a little bit fraught at one point, and eventually the ball goes to ground, and Warrington breathed a sigh of relief, because the 12-man Warrington side have tackled quite well in this second half, and they've had to do, because Saints have mounted wave after wave of attack on the wire defence, particularly inside the 20. They've only scored one try as yet, and that was a kick ahead by Golding. Warrington coming again. That's Paul Cullen. He was down almost vertically in that tackle, in fact. Lee Penny coming in like a forward. One or two high tackles around here on at the moment, which seem to be punished in the first half, but are not being punished in the second half particularly. That was Lee Penny. Mick Ford again. Warrington have lost it again. Two knock-ons. Surely the first knock-on will be the one the referee takes. That'll be scrum down again. Edden Ball to St Helens. And it is. Just outside the wire 20, so Warrington again are not controlling this ball well.
Yes, Ford, though, you could see he was looking forward, trying to obviously cod the Saints' defence, as the Saints break on the blind side from the scrum. Golding again, leading the troops. Vivers attacked in half. Good drive. 5 metres and just over from the Warrington line. Golding giving the dummy, feeds it back inside to Perolini. Simon Booth used it as the dummy runner. Cunningham attacked in half again. Golding along the line. The ball will be spread out. Numerical advantage. It touched a Warrington player. It's gone into touch. It would have been another 6 tackles if Saints could have regathered it. But it's going to be a scrum down. Saints head and feed. 10 metres from the Warrington line. 20 metres in. And Phil Vivers there, linking in there at the loose forward berth. Obviously with the injury to Dean Busby. I think he's the sole survivor of the Saints' last Regal Trophy. Well, it was Players' Trophy then, wasn't it, in 87-88. And he's obviously in contention for a place from the base of the scrum. Golding again, now with Vivers. Vivers out to the back door, taken by Bobby Golding. Good tackle comes in. Substitute there, Paul Barrow. On the field for Warrington. Cunningham ducks under the tackle, still driving forward, not actually put to earth. Well, a lot of mauling there. Penny, is he going to be accused of actually putting his hand in between the player's legs, which is a penalty? Well, he's reaching for his pocket again. He's giving the red card. Another red card. Now, I don't know what that's for. My word, Warrington down to 11. 2 players sent off. 23 minutes. So that's 63 minutes in total. Penny sent off for a punch in the tackle on Cunningham. They couldn't get Cunningham down. There was 2, 3 and 4 men coming round him, and the referee well positioned. He was in like nobody's business there. He stopped the play. It didn't look a lot from our angle, Jim, did it? But my word, the wire again. They're feeling the full force, aren't they? 2 men down.
Yeah, certainly. So that's 11 players against 13, which Warrington did have to contend with in the first half, of course, just before half-time, when 2 Warrington players were sent to the sin bin. But now 2 Warrington players have been sent from the field of play. And the Saints are going to try and cut them a little bit here, I think. But Warrington eventually alive to that. But now they've only got 11 players on the park. What do? They've really got to try and put the ball down, I think, deep inside Saints' territories. The Saints tacklers come in with a real vengeance here. And Warrington have pushed back 10 yards in that tackle. With about 15 minutes to go to full time. 11 players play against 13. And surely if Saints get the ball now, they'll score every time they do handle it. Mark Hilton, Saints coming in quickly. They want to put this advantage over on Warrington, I think. Was that a forward pass? The referee says no. The score 36 points to 10. And Warrington are going to find it difficult to score any more tries, but they're throwing this ball around at the moment. And that looks to me like Paul Cullen, inside pass. And eventually it's going to be Maffey who will be just pulled down short. Inches short, that's the last tackle. The turnover, and Saints back in possession.
Yes, great play by the wire. Commentators' nightmare there, Jim, just as you were saying, there was no chance of them scoring, and, well, they didn't score in the end, but they nearly went in, didn't they? Famous last words, as they say. Kiss of death. But the Saints have the possession. That's Brian Capewell on, making his debut for Saints as Booth comes through, slips it to Cunningham, a big hit there. Yes, Yestin Harris it was that made that big hit, but Cunningham shrugged it off. And now Saints drive again. Golding chips it for the corner. It'll find touch and a scrum down to be formed. But Brian Capewell on there for the Saints, number 16, making his debut in the senior squad. Another lad that's come through the ranks, through the academy, into the Alliance, and now part of Eric Hughes' squad, the first team squad. It's certainly a squad that's had to be extended this season, with the horrific injuries that we've had. And the old Rugby League didn't do us any favours, did they? Fined us £10,000, £5,000 deferred to the end of the year, even though we had sick notes and all that. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? But I suppose they've got to seem to be fair, and they thought it was fair, even though we had the horrific injuries. But that's all history. Let's get on with it. 36 points to 10 the score, 13 minutes remaining. Wire have the possession, still up against it, Jim.
I think it's the third tackle in this play as Mark Hilton comes in. And I was just thinking there about Bobby Golding, what a superb kicker of a football he is. He kicks with accuracy. He just puts the right weight on it, as he did right at the start of this second half when Saints scored. Warrington have lost the ball again. And I think that really is something that the wide coaching staff are going to have to work on in training, I think, Ron. Is clamping the ball in the tackle and holding the ball when you've got it yourself. Mr. Campbell there, who sent two Warrington players from the field of play. Bobby Golding is coming up. He's obviously going to be saved for Saturday when Saints take on the mighty Wigan at the McAlpine Stadium in Huddersfield, a game I'd love to go and watch if there are any tickets left. And I think if Saints play the way they played on Thursday and in patches this afternoon, they'll match Wigan. Wigan, of course, are the red-hot favourites to win that trophy. But then again, 2 years ago, they were against Castleford and were beaten, was it 37-0? Saints back in possession, Ron.
Yes, 33-2 I think it was actually, Jim, but Wigan got the bottom slap. They was well and truly whacked. And let's hope that Saints can give them a bit of the same this Saturday. Phil Waring on for Bobby Golding for the last 12 minutes play. Golding's done the business, he's done the damage, he's led by example. Saints with a 26-point cushion, and Perolini, like a three-quarter, slips it out to Arnold, took it well, glue on the fingers there and it stuck. Arnold plays it quickly, Saints moving to the right, Hammond draws the defence in, Hammond will score. Yes, he bounces it down over the whitewash. He did well in the end. The referee looks to the right and the left. He says OK, he gets the nod off the touch judges, or the in-goal touch judge, and Hammond goes in for another Saints try. Carl Hammond's 9th try of the season. That brings the 40 up, 40 points to 10. The ball just tipping over. The referee stops the clock. And the matchday mascot for today, Jessica Fryer, only 5 years of age. She'll be really pleased with the Saints' performance. 40 points to 10 at present. And Capewell looking to tag this one on for his first senior points for the Saints. Oh, it's nice. It's between the uprights. Capewell converts it. 42-10.
42 points to 10. In Warrington with 11 players on the park. They'll be praying for the hooter at the moment. They don't want 50 points scored against them today. 80 on Thursday and 50 today. That'll be the last thing that Warrington need. But it has been a much better performance from Warrington, I think. They've tackled better, they've used the ball better as well. Having said that, they've had 3 players sent to the sin bin, 2 players sent from the field of play. And really, you can't win games at Nosey Road if you're playing with 11 players for most of the game, because Warrington played with 11 players for 10 minutes in the first half. And of course Lee Penny was sent off about 5 minutes ago. Warrington still getting the ball away. That's on to Maffey, very nearly scored a few minutes ago. Just when I was about to say, or did in fact say, that Warrington didn't look like scoring at all, he very nearly did. Yestin Harris, Warrington have decided now they're going to put the ball down into the Saints 20. They try and put Saints under a bit of pressure, because 11 players tackling 13 attackers, it's not easy. And I think particularly when you're 42 points to 10 down, Saints back in possession, Ron. And I'm sure they'd like a few more tries.
Yes, I'm sure they would, and I'm sure I would as well, with the remaining 9 minutes, and with plenty of time to obviously get some. We don't know really, Jim, whether we was down to 11 players in the first half, did we, with the sim bin in? We wasn't quite sure. Courier seemed to come back quickly. Whether he'd gone off for treatment or not, I don't know, but definitely not was off. Well, you're down to 11 now, with Penny sent off, and Finau 6 minutes before the interval. Penny just being sent off in the 63rd minute. Saints awarded the penalty. Defined touch on their own 20. Phil Waring onto Phil Vevers. Vevers, the veteran in the camp, but looking for a sub spot or even in the starting lineup on Saturday. Perellini again drives for the line. A lot of hard tackling forward. Hilton, Thursfield quickly in, but it's Cunningham that moves it left. Hammond and Waring into passing. Hammond again slips a lovely ball to Gibbs. Gibbs to Arnold. Loitering there with intent, Arnold. And he takes one for his pains from Forster as he touches the ball down in the 33rd minute. Arnold in for his second of the afternoon.
Then there was the 8-0 drubbing. The score at the moment, I think, is 48 points to 10, is that right? The score is 48 points to 10. As the 2 points are added on, and really it's been an absolute nightmare 3 weeks for Warrington. 7 tries, is it, for Saints, or is it more?
Yes.
7 tries for St Helens, 2 to Warrington. Yestin Harris scoring all of Warrington's 10 points. And Warrington back under pressure inside their own 20 as Mappy comes out. And Warrington have got to hold on to this ball. They don't want 50 scored against them today. They've got about 7 or 8 minutes to hold out, really. And with 11 players on the park, they must be very tired indeed. And they're waiting for this hooter, I think. Foster wants some possession. Had 2 games recently for Wire after a long layoff and hardly had any of the ball at all. Who's this coming in this time? It looks like Barrow. Coming on as a substitute. He breaks into the just over the 20, almost from the Saints half of the field, not far to go. Here we go this time. It's Yestin Harris again as he goes through. Reminds me very much of Henry Paul. And was that ball taken by Andy Northey? The referee certainly thought it was, as Yestin Harris complained to him. Certainly the ball went to ground. Andy Northey came up with it. Kelly Shelford to put the ball into touch. With about 5 minutes to go here, I think, Ron, is it? Something like that. 48 points to 10. It's 128 points Warrington have conceded in less than 4 days at Knowsley Road. And it's not over yet. But Warrington would love to score again. They'd love the 3rd try. And where is Yestin Harris for his hat-trick? It's Johnny Thursfield looking for the moves. Here is Yestin Harris again, a long pass, but all the Warrington players standing still. Nobody really moving onto the ball, and very difficult to make any kind of an overlap, of course. You've only got 11 players on the field. Mick Ford onto Thursfield. Thursfield going towards the line, dragged back, only about 10 yards out. Playing the ball quickly, Andy Bennett's on as well for his first touch. So Warrington, I think, have used all the 4 subs this afternoon. And again, that was hit by a Saints player. It's taken by a Saints player. And the Knowsley Road outfit are back in possession, Ron.
Yes, kicked through well there by Warrington. It did touch his Saints player, as you said, bounced to Danny Arnold. Now it's Cunningham. Cunningham puts the gas pedal down over the halfway line. Can anybody stop him? Joey Hayes is with him, but Cunningham, touches down between the sticks there. Full length of the field job there, more or less. Must be 90 odd metres from a hooker, and that's not bad going, that is it. 4 minutes to the final hooter. Cunningham adds his name to the score sheet. You'd put your money on it, wouldn't you? Oh, beg your pardon, there it goes. It falls off the mound of sand. Bobby Golding used to the plastic tee to get things, to get his ball teed up. Capewell with the mound of sand. Capewell strikes it, gets his 3rd, another 6 points to the Saints, and that makes it 54 points to 10. Time running out, and You'll not want to come to Nosey Road again this year, will you, Jim? It's been a nightmare 4 days, and obviously been joyous for myself, but Wade will get back possession, but for how long?
No, I'm sure I've got to come back after March sometime in the Super League, but I hope it's going to be a different looking Warrington side than the one we've seen this afternoon. And I think Warrington really do have problems in the camp at the moment, with goodness knows well over 200 points scored against them in the past 4 games, so an average of 50 points against them per game. And obviously there are going to be 1 or 2 problems now with 2 players having been sent off. They'll get a few games, of that I'm quite certain. And yet, having said that, Ron, it's not been a dirty game at all, really. It's been a very good game to watch. And as I said on Thursday night, in mitigation, I suppose, in the defence of Warrington, I think the game is more important than any side. And some of the quality tries, certainly here the Saints played, it must have been in an offside position, I think, was it? The referee's given a penalty anyway. But we saw some marvellous tries on Thursday night. We've seen some tremendous tries again today, and 2 good ones from Warrington as well. So again, it's been a quality game. Mark Foster, 54 points to 10 behind his team, with only a minute or so, we think, to go. And Warrington again lose the ball. And this has happened so often. When your luck is out, Ron, your luck is out.
It certainly is, Jim. But your luck's in this time. You forced Cunningham into touch on the far side for a catalogue of errors. Scrum down, Warrington feed. But as you say, we're in the last minute of, 40 minutes gone on my clock, just playing in time for stoppages. 54-10 the score, and it's your last chance to get on the board.
That's Shelford this time playing at scrum half. Gary Chambers is back on. Bobby Golding the second time in a week. Man of the match for Saints. That's Paul Barrow, just outside the Saints 20. 54 points to 10. Let's hope it's 54 points to 16 shortly. Yestin Harris again, trying to side through this Saints defence, which really, after 160 minutes of rugby, have only let in 2 tries against the side of the attacking potential of Warrington, who gave Leeds a good pasting about 4 weeks ago, of course, at Wilderspool. But they've had 3 weeks of absolute nightmare rugby league. Now they're going to score. Bennett will do. Consolation try for the Warrington utility back and even utility forward, Andy Bennett, who always gives 100% for the Wyatt. He came on just about 10 minutes ago, so Warrington have in fact used all the substitutes. The best team game in the world, perhaps not the fastest. That's probably ice hockey, I would think, as Yestin Harris puts that to the right of the post, so it's 54-14. But as I was saying, I really have revelled in some superb rugby league in the past 4 days here at Nosey Road. Warrington haven't been in it too much, but Bobby Golding really has shown his class. He is, for me now, the first choice Great Britain scrum half, never mind Sean Edwards. I would love to see Bobby Golding playing scrum half and Sean Edwards at stand-off, but whether that will happen or not, I don't know. But it's going to be Warrington to kick off again, obviously praying for this hooter. Another battering they've taken here at Nosey Road this afternoon, and Saints back in possession. Are they going to score 60, Ron?
Who knows? I don't think so. I think time's against us now. Actually played 2 minutes, nearly 3 minutes of stoppage time. But 54-14, a more creditable display as Capewell sidesteps in and out, drives it forward. Big rangy wingman come through the ranks. Whirring onto Gibbs. Gibbs twists in the tackle. Saints are pressing. They're deep in the Warrington half. Beavers takes it blindside. Haig looking for support. Brought down on the 20. Maybe the last throw of the dice for the Saints. Hammond looks as though it's going to the air, but it's touched a Warrington player. It's back in Hammond's hands. He slips it out there to Arnold, looking for his hat-trick. There's the hooter. The clock just beating us, Jim. But a fantastic display this afternoon by the Saints, even though Warrington maybe have been expected to come back after that defeat and beat the Saints in the league. But 8 tries by the Saints, 8 goals from Golding, 3 from Brian Capewell coming through. But the final score here at Nosey Road in the Stones Centenary Championship, after Saints leading 28-4 at half-time, the final score is 54 points to 14. Warrington playing with 11 men for quite a period of time. Saints now 5 or 6 days rest to build up to the Regal Trophy semi-final against Wigan at Huddersfield this Saturday, and then the rearranged game on the 17th, I think it is, the 17th of January against London Broncos here at home. It's midweek, a week this Wednesday coming, and then Halifax the Sunday after complete the league programme. But the final score here from Nosey Road, 54-14. You've been with Micron. Join us soon.
Depending upon how the other results have gone, will either remain fourth from bottom